Good morning. I am Kevin Price. Delighted to be with you. Going to spend some time talking to you about you and your business. I'm going to get straight into my conversation today with William Edmundson with Abbey Executive Suites. He's a regular contributor here on The Price of Business. And as always, William, glad to have you on the program. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. Happy Thursday, and great to be with you.
I want to get right straight into our topic at hand. But before we do that, kind of tell us a little bit about Abbey.
I'd be glad to. Abbey Executive Suites is a Houston-based chain of executive suites. And, Kevin, we are in the business of providing turnkey office solutions for people who need traditional offices and want to have meeting rooms, want to have a receptionist, want to have their mail, be able to go to a top address. We do that as well as virtual offices. A lot of people like to work from home or may not need a full-time office, but want to have all of the resources available when they need them. And then we also, very popular, we have a lot of people that use Abbey as a place where they can hold their meetings, their depositions, even some of their interviewing processes, which is, I was in one of our locations this last week, and they actually had all of their interviewing for a company that was getting ready to open a new location. So very interesting uses for people of executive suites.
Yeah, what I think is interesting is that I particularly like is the fact that you don't have to be a standing client in order to use your services. You've got people who come in and we need a conference room just for an hour. Can we do that? And you've got it incredibly reasonably priced. I bet a lot of your long-term clients come just from that simple beginning, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And, Kevin, a lot of companies don't have meetings every day. Maybe they're smaller, or maybe somebody is a branch office for a company. Maybe you're just not in the business where you have a lot of meetings, but when you have a meeting, it's important to you. It's important the image that your company projects. And a lot of people turn to Abbey as a way to meet those needs, having a good business address, being able to have a professionally built-out conference room that they use, receptionists that will greet your clients as if they worked for you, and serve Starbucks coffee to boot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So what did you want to focus on as far as the topic?
Yeah, Kevin, I've got just a smattering of things to cover today, but I thought I'd start with something a lot of businesses are going through right now, and that is the good old annual budgeting. And if you're a smaller company, you might be going through that now. If you're a bigger company, I've certainly worked in some Fortune 500 companies, and that process would have been going on for quite a while now. But no matter what size company you work for, putting together your annual budget really can be an eye-opener on certain things. And as I was going through some articles on budgeting, and as I've been doing some of the Abbey budgets myself, the space that companies rent make you really want to think about, do I really need all of the space that I have? Or what is the best use of space and my dollar for my company? And what we're seeing, Kevin, is that there are a lot of companies that are giving up these big offices that they've had because they're realizing that they only use the conference room a certain number of hours a day, or they realize that they've got to pay for the copier lease, or they've got to pay for another person to be a receptionist. We've got a lot of companies that have come to us through this process because they want to not have to pay for their own receptionist when they can share one with other people like they can at Abbey. They don't want to pay for that square footage, that 150, 200 square feet that maybe they have as a conference room. Why would you want to pay for that 24/7 when someone else can pay for it and you basically are using what you need?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. For $1,600 a month, and that's really cheap. Really, really cheap. You're getting a receptionist who can probably barely speak English and shows very little interest in what she's doing because you got to have her there full time, and you got her doing little menial tasks in between times of taking calls and engaging with clients simply because you don't want to feel like you're losing all of your money. Or you could have a receptionist that works with you only when you need to work with you, totally competent, and is a part of a larger package pricing. To me, it seems like a no-brainer, William.
Yeah, absolutely. And gosh, add to that, Kevin, the time it takes to interview, the time it takes to train, and something we're really seeing, particularly in the Houston market right now, is with the growth that we've experienced in Houston and all of these companies moving here, the people who are at that level in the workplace, boy, they are really in demand. So a lot of companies are faced with a lot of turnover, particularly if you're a small company and you don't offer a lot of benefits or things like that. So why put yourself through that? Let us handle that for you.
Yeah, I've had offices that I've paid rent for, and I've had the executive suite experience, and I'll take the latter any day of the week. I can say that without hesitation. So, when you look at your budgets, don't just look at the space, look at your utilities, look at your receptionist, look at your support. And I tell you, to me, and look at opportunity costs, that's very difficult to quantify when you look at a budget, but people that are doing all kinds of things to support an office when the office should be supporting them, to me, it just seems like a no-brainer, William.
Oh, absolutely. And, so many of the listeners to The Price of Business are entrepreneurial folks. And you know what? Every hour that you spend taking care of some little thing is an hour that you're not spending taking care of a big thing. And we like to help people focus on what they do for a living because that's what they're good at. That's what they do, and frankly, that's where they make their money.
Focus on making money. Absolutely. William Edmundson, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
By the way, you can learn more about Abby by going online to Abby, ABBY.com. You can email them, Abby@Abby.com. Again, ABBY. And the phone number.
Yeah, people can reach us at 888-785-7800. Again, that's 888-785-7800. And Kevin, we got a special deal for listeners of The Price of Business. If you come to one of our locations, tell them that you heard about us on The Price of Business, and we will give you the rest of this year rent-free when you sign up for a year.
Wow. Well, people ought to check into that. William, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at USAReview.com. And this is The Price of Business.